So I didn't realize how difficult dating in America was until I left. From my point of view, dating in America feels like a competition, like a game. And I feel like with social media as well, like you're just being compared to the whole internet. And it's very hard for you to compete like with the top dogs in the world. And when people see just like so many high quality people on the internet, like that gets misconstrued for the average Joe. And so now everyone thinks that they're capable of getting like the top people since they see that people with the finest clothes, the newest cars, the best bodies, and that just causes more pressure to compete. And that is what we call materialism. So it's all about like your lifestyle, your status, how well you're doing in your career. And like I said, things are just misconstrued. And then you have to compete so hard, like with the top 10% who basically have all the options. And yeah, it's not a fun game, especially if you're losing and you're at the bottom. And so since I've been back, I've just saw like how misconstrued like people's judgments are and just where we're at as a society. Yes, when I was in Vietnam, things just felt so much more easier, so much more natural, so much more family oriented. For instance, I was at a farm and we would eat together every night and just have natural conversation. And for me, that was totally different because growing up in my family, we never ate as a family. And it was basically like everyone for themselves. And I feel like that's how most of America is. Like it's everyone for themselves. Like you eat when you can, when you want, but everyone must like be getting to it, like getting to the bag, we like to say. And also like in Vietnam, like one time I was just walking down the street and I was heading to a restaurant. And then like a random woman just stopped me. We had like a small little talk. And once she found out I was going to the restaurant, she was like, "Oh no, like I don't want you to like get lost," or like she was like genuinely worried about me. So she lived like a minute or two away. So she was like, "Yeah, come to my house and I'll go get your food for you." And at first I had like red warning alerts, like what? Like what's going on? Like but she had good energy, so I kind of went with the flow. And she ended up bringing me to her house, introduced me to her parents or her mom. And she was like, "Yeah, give me like 5, 10 minutes. I'm gonna get on my motorbike and I'm gonna go get your food for you and bring it back and you can eat here." And I was like, "Wow, like cool." So she did that. And then the next day she was like, "Yes, like if you need anything, just like let me know and I'll take you out to eat." So the next day she took me out to eat as well, like in Da Nang, which was about 45 minutes away. And she drove her motorbike and just took me to like some fine dining restaurant. And come to find out, like the day before we had met was her birthday. And I was just like shocked, like in awe, because like in America, like someone's birthday, they expect like you to pay for everything and just, yeah, they expect gifts. And here, like someone was like giving me something like on their birthday. And that's just how they treated me as a foreigner. So that's my experience. And it was just so much different, like in the US. And then also in Indonesia as well. Like everyone was just super curious about you and just, yeah, they were warm and they really wanted to get to know you. I spent a little bit of time in Bali, but most of my time in Borobudur. And for instance, I would just be walking down the street and like kids and just people would come up to me like, "Where are you from?" And they really wanted me to enjoy their country. So they were like, "Are you enjoying it?" Asking me questions, and they were just always willing to give me a helping hand. I remember one time I was riding a motorbike and I accidentally ran out of gas. And yeah, I stopped somebody like at a little stand and I was like, "Yes, like my motorbike isn't working. I think I ran out of gas." And then some kids rolled up to me, probably teenagers like 18, 19, And they're like, hold up. Like once they found out and they went down the street, got me some gas, put it in my tank, and I was able to keep going. And I was giving them money to help me because I know that they paid for it. And I was giving them a tip. And they're like, no, no, no. Like they wouldn't take the tip. But I ended up like basically making them take it because it was super cheap for me, like $1 or $2. But I gave them like in their currency like $5, $10, and they were like, "That's a lot for them." And they're like, "No, like, we didn't do that for that." But that's essentially like just the warmth that I've received, and just they really wanted me to enjoy their country. So that was very intriguing to see. And so, and also you stand out like with the foreigner effect. They don't see people like you and you're different, and that brings curiosity and makes you more intriguing, and people really want to get to know you. So rather than here, like they kind of already see you, and like I said, they want like the top dog, and they're always looking like on social media, and just all of our judgments are misconstrued. So you get lost like in the millions and billions of people that are just normal, everyday people. And so it feels different when you're like when you stand out, and you don't even have to be the richest, you don't have to have the most money, but people are like genuinely curious about you and interested like in your life. And that was just shocking for me. And so, yes, I just realized that dating is simpler. It can be simpler abroad, and there's not as much like competition and just social media and dating standards, and just things are more conventional and traditional, and people actually want to get to know you as a person rather than get to know like what you are like socially, like what your social status is, how much money you make and stuff. And I'm pretty sure that's a global phenomenon, but it's not as prevalent like in other countries. So that's my take on this. If you like this type of content, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.